All right, this week we are in New Hampshire with Caleb, my brother, who y'all have seen before, and Audra. I can't get my pointing right, but Audra as well, Caleb's girlfriend. They're up from Richmond, and we have come to her hometown. They live in Nottingham, but we've driven down to Portsmouth today to explore the city. This is, wait, I can't point. That's Audra's mom. Audra, point to your mom. There we go. That's Miss Vicky. And then, of course, we got Callie and Sydney as well. This week we've got a lot going on. We're going to be hanging out with them and doing some hiking, and we're going to go see Boston, and we're going to see Portsmouth, and I don't know what all we're going to do. We're going to explore New Hampshire this week. Greatly looking forward to it. Miss Vicky and her husband have been super nice to us and feeding us food every night, and so probably gain some weight while I'm here, hopefully, and let's have a little fun.
So we are at Strawberry Bank. It is a very old place. All the buildings are very old. It's kind of like a historic reenactment kind of place. You get to walk around, go into little shops, and see the reenactments that they have. And
we are not
it's
doing
20
it.
bucks.
It's $20.
It's 20 bucks, so we don't want to do it.
So yeah,
You get to see places from like the 1600s and up, and everything's staged and cool.
Looks cute.
Very colonial.
It's an original town that also was, some of the buildings were picked up and moved because they used to do that and brought in, so it's more like compact to see everything, but it's all like old.
We don't know what the inside looks like, but the outside looks great.
Looks like it would be cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we are in Portsmouth, and we are down here at the wharf waiting to get a table at this restaurant called the River House. A couple good things they have are lobster rolls, and their signature thing is the seafood chowder, which we're all here to get.
We just left lunch, and it was the best food I've eaten in a really long time. I had a fried haddock sandwich, and it was so good. I don't even like tartar sauce, but the tartar sauce they gave me, I just like covered the whole sandwich, and it was so good. And Jeremy had the a panini with lobster chowder, and it was amazing. It was literally the best food I've eaten in a really long time. So we are going to keep exploring, and then we'll go see a lighthouse later.
So we left Portsmouth and we headed up to the Nubble Lighthouse, which is, I don't know, one of the most quintessential, picturesque lighthouses on the entire area up here in New England. It's the one that you see all the time on calendars and puzzles and all that sort of stuff. And it is absolutely gorgeous out here. It's a little overcast and foggy today, which I think kind of sets up the mood and the feel of it even better to actually have a lighthouse working there doing that. A little squirmy butt right there. But we're having fun out here. Where are we going next? Ogunquit. Never been there before, so that should be fun. You waving, Cow? Yeah, we got food in our bellies. We've all been kind of like a little on the edge of falling asleep. I think the saltwater air got us back going. So we're going to look at the lighthouse, stare at it a little more, and then head on north to Algonquin. Ogunquit. Algonquin's like an Indian, right?
Algonquin.
Algonquin's, whatever. We're going north to the O-word city. Alright, so this is our last day in the New Hampshire, Massachusetts area. We are with Caleb and Audra again. We're going to be seeing Boston today. Our goal was, we got up semi-early, not really early. We were trying to get to the Fenway Park today. There's a game, but we didn't want to pay for a ticket. So we were going to do the tour of the park. We've been hustling here, got on the subway, got off on the wrong spot, had to do change and all this kind of stuff. We ended up, got to the tour spot and all the tickets were already sold out for the day. So that was kind of a bummer way to start our day. But we're going to look around Fenway in a few minutes, and then we're going to be going to do the Freedom Trail together. Alright, so we've made our way to the Freedom Trail. It's only taken us 2 hours to get to the top of it. As I said, we were going to get tickets to the Red Sox thing, but it didn't work out. The field tour didn't work out. So we started at the Freedom Trail. We're at the northern part of Boston, and we're going to take the trail down. We're going to try and walk the whole thing today. Currently, we are at Bunker Hill. You can see that right there behind us. Callie is running around like a crazy person. You want to say anything about how cute the town is right here?
It's so cute.
Thank you for your wonderful insights into all the houses here in Boston. Hey, don't leak the secret. All right. She's got a lot of energy. We're going to hit the Freedom Trail and head through Boston.
Following the Freedom Trail to a T, and now we're at the USS Constitution.
Hey, we just went to Mike's Pastry in the North End. It's known for its cannoli specifically, but pretty much everything they have there is good. If you ever go, you need to just fight your way in. Don't worry about the lines, just force your way up to the front. I got a whoopie pie, managed to get it all over me already, and they got cannolis, just regular cannolis with chocolate chips on them.
What'd you get?
Holy cannoli, this is good. No, what I got. Mine's got chocolate pudding in it or something. I don't know. It's yummy.
Callie, you eating some?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Bite it.
Look at me, Callie. Callie.
Is that yummy?
Well, we had a great time in New Hampshire and going to Boston with Caleb and Audra. We just have a great time with them. We don't get to see them nowhere near as much as we would like to, but we love the time that we get to spend with them. Callie loves Caleb and loves Audra so much. And Audra's family was so hospitable and so inviting and so nice to us. They fed us almost every night, and I didn't video any of that because, I mean, we're going into their house and their family, and I don't know, it just feels kind of invasive. So this week was a little bit different video-wise because I didn't video a ton, but we had a great time with Caleb and Audra this week.
There's a couple things that we took video of but didn't really explain it as it was happening, or also some things that we like forgot to take video of, but like afterwards we're like, man, I wish we would have. The first thing that happened was we were driving down the road and there's this huge turtle. Like, I mean,
it's an alligator snapping turtle, and we had seen signs in Maine that were like turtle lives matter and animal rights or turtle rights, and I was like,
that wasn't there.
Weird. I know it was in Maine that I had seen that, so I had that on my mind. Plus this turtle is massive,
I mean,
so I wasn't just gonna like splatter it on the side of the road.
It was such a big turtle. So Jeremy was like, oh, I'm gonna help it across the road. So I'm like,
well,
I'm gonna video this.
I'm that guy.
So he jumped out to help this huge turtle across the road. He gets this umbrella. I got some video of it. He's got this umbrella, like poking it with an umbrella.
Just watch the video and then we'll explain a little more.
Jeremy is saving the turtle's life. Roll my window down.
A little more.
And then I cut the video off. As soon as I cut the video off, that turtle snapped his head around and snapped at him, and I was like screaming. And then finally, the turtle just crossed the road, so he saved the turtle's life.
Okay, I've been around enough alligator snapping turtles to know, like, they're not fast. It's not something they're going to chase me down. So I was trying to get him to like go across the road, and then he snapped his head back over there to me. It didn't scare me. I didn't jump. It wasn't like I was horrified or anything. But that joker just was doing his own thing, and I was trying to save his life, and he had zero appreciation for me trying to save his life.
Okay, so we also went on a hike with Audra and her parents and Caleb, and we got several pictures of the hike, but we didn't video it much. It was real rainy, and there was a lot of just like muddy areas, which I'm glad Jeremy didn't try to bring his camera out there because it was real rainy and we were wet, and it was just, I mean, it wouldn't have been good. But we did get some good pictures on our phones, and Audra got some good pictures on her phone. So we'll show you some of the pictures, but it was a really good hike. We were like hiked up this mountain, and at the top of the mountain was it was called Lonesome Lake, and it was a big lake up there with a little cabin, and
it was in northern New Hampshire. I think it was called Franconia Notch State Park.
Yeah, so they had a little cabin up there, and they also had isn't it along the Appalachian Trail?
Yeah.
So people on the Appalachian Trail could stop, and they had showers and stuff like that. Another thing that happened that I should have videoed, but I didn't take any pictures or anything, so I'm just going to tell you the story because it's hilarious. We got back from Boston. It was like 10 or 10:30 that night. I'm not really sure. I got Callie out of the truck. She was watching videos on the phone. I stood her on the ground and grabbed all my bags that I needed to go in. So I walked around the front of the truck, and I just said, all right, Callie, let's go inside. Assumed she was just going to follow me. So I got around to the front of the truck, and I hear, help, help, mommy, help. And I ran, like it scared me, like I wasn't sure what had happened, so I ran back around the side of the truck, and there was Callie laying on her back, like upside down, head first, feet up in the air, in the fire pit, like the big metal fire ring. She was laying there with her feet like kicking in the air.
The fire pit was like dug in the ground. It wasn't one that sits up top. It was like dug in the ground, probably 2 foot.
And so she was like screaming, and
she was not the only one screaming.
Well, it was not what I expected. I got around the corner, and like, okay, that's not what I didn't expect my child to be upside down in a fire pit when this happened. There was no fire, obviously. We hadn't even been there all day. She had just like flipped over in it somehow. And I was like, oh my gosh,
You'd have thought that Callie was missing an arm the way.
I like freaked out. Like, I mean, I obviously overreacted, but I just like didn't expect it at all. And Caleb came running around the truck like, what the heck is going on? Jeremy's in there like oblivious to any of this.
I was inside. It's
and
not like I was.
I just like helped her up out of the fire pit, and she was fine, not hurt at all, no scratches, nothing. And she said, "Mommy, I fell in the armpit." And she kept telling me she fell in the armpit. And then she said, "I don't want to fall in the armpit again. I don't want to fall in Nana and Big Daddy's armpit." She keeps calling it the armpit, and every now and then she'll still tell me she fell in the armpit. Every campground we go to, she said, "I'm not gonna fall in that armpit." Did you fall in the armpit? No. Tell them what happened. Tell him you fell in the what? She
fell in the armpit.
So it was really funny, and looking back, it was hilarious. But like in the moment, I overreacted, and I was like freaking out. But totally not what I expected. It was funny though.
We had a great time with Caleb and Audra. Thank you to the Jenkins family for having us and feeding us. We had honestly a great time in Boston and in New Hampshire. We also took a lot of pictures. So this week, to end the video, hey, sit still, baby. There are several pictures if you want to stay tuned for those pictures. We took a lot of really good pictures of lighthouses in Boston and that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for some more pictures, and we will see you next week. We're moving on up to Maine.
See ya.
See ya.